And the video is about vibrations, right? So when they say high vibrations, or vibrate high, or vibrate low, what's the difference between vibrating high and being in a good mood, or vibrating low and being in a bad mood? If you looked at everything in the physical world as having a frequency, at a rate that it oscillates, at a rate that it vibrates, some things vibrate higher than other things. But say you took a peach, and say you took a steak, and you measured the rate that they vibrate in. Inanimate objects vibrate, everything vibrates. It's the rate that the atoms that make up the matter spin around, okay? So some atoms spin faster and some atoms spin faster. When atoms spin fast, they appear solid, even though a molecule is 99.9% empty space, but it gives you the illusion of matter. The faster it spins, the more of a frequency that it emits out into the universe. Everything that you come across has a vibration to it. Everything that you come across. What you look at, what you listen to, everything vibrates at a rate. So, whatever you take in, whatever you listen to, whatever you surround yourself with, whatever you look at, whatever you think, all of these things affect your vibration, not just one. So it's not necessarily about being in a bad mood. It's about that mood getting into your spirit and settling there. That lowers your vibration. Moods are flitty. A mood can come and go, but it's about the prolonged chronicness of it. It begins to bring down your vibration. If you're surrounded in, say you're in a basement and you have no windows and you're always like in the dark, then that's going to start affecting your vibration, because what you're looking at can have an effect on your mood. So say you're just around a toxic family members all the time, and you have to go around these people and they're narcissistic and they're toxic. That's going to start affecting you. And we feel vibes. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does that. You can feel when somebody's vibes are bad because they affect you. What we don't realize is everything has that effect. The shows that you watch on TV, the things that are on your feeds on social media, all of this stuff, all of your thoughts. If you're a negative person, then it starts to affect you in a negative manner because it becomes chronic. It starts to bring your vibration down. So if you are negative in your own thoughts towards yourself, I can't do anything right, I'm stupid, why doesn't anything work out for me? These words are very powerful, even if they're just thoughts. They're very powerful. What you think becomes your reality. So if you're thinking, oh, things don't never work out, I don't know why, things just never work out for me. We say that out of frustration. Things just don't never work out for me. I don't know. It's always something. Those words are so powerful because they'll speak that into your existence, because that's what you start to believe, and it affects your vibration. So if you understand that you're like an antenna, and you pick up all these signals, these frequencies. We are like antennas. We pick up all the frequencies around us. So when things vibrate at a lower frequency, we pick that up. When things vibrate at a higher frequency, we pick that up. The only way that I truly understood that is the fact that I am so far removed from the things that I used to do, the things that I watch on TV, the people that I talk to. I've lost friends for just and it was just I would just like to feel good, and this doesn't make me feel good, and I would just like to feel good. So then I started consciously choosing things that made me feel good. Me stopping even eating meat, I didn't even understand that it was a frequency then. It was just meat made me tired, it made me feel heavy. That heaviness, that was a frequency. I didn't know that though. And then it's like, you know, I, I, I started realizing this because once I got to a point where everything was healthy, you know what I'm saying? Healthy relationships around me. I would remove myself from bad situations. The job ain't remove myself. Create the life that I want. Not necessarily money wise. People think that, manifestation and happiness has a monetary value, and it doesn't. But creating the life I want just was like surrounding myself with beautiful things. So, you look at life lessons, start looking at life lessons, and then started, like doing what I said I was doing. I just started just creating the life I wanted for the internal, looking at beautiful things. I'm just, working on myself, realizing I can't control what happens outside of me. The only thing I can control and deal with is the inside. Going inside, dealing with knowing that everything that comes to me, that triggers me, is something that's trying to teach me. So trying to figure out those lessons. So I changed the way I started looking at situations. When something bad happened, I stopped looking at it like it was a bad thing, good and bad. I stopped looking at the duality. I started looking at the opportunity to learn. And when I did that, it raised my vibration. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's what happened. So I could start feeling it. I could literally start feeling my vibration getting higher, because what I realized was I stopped reacting to triggers. I still get triggered. I still have triggers, but now it's like, what is this trigger trying to teach me about myself? What part of me is still unhealed? So I'll go on the inside and search for, is my ego acting up? Human beings, we react. We don't respond. We react. Our emotions are so autonomic that we just react to it. So I was like, I wonder, can I, and it took years, but I can't. I got to a point where it's so high that it can't go down no more. Now, don't get me wrong, y'all. Don't think that I got tools, you know what I'm saying? I got meditation. I definitely have tools that help this out. Don't think this is just, but a lot of it is willpower, and a lot of it is just understanding and practice and awareness, paying attention to myself. The reason I even put it out there is it wasn't that hard. It's just acquiring a skill, like learning how to drive, like riding a bike. It's something foreign that until you keep doing it over and over again, then it becomes routine. Then I realized that there's just certain things I just don't want to do no more. I just don't have I don't know. The reason I'm even telling y'all this is because haven't you ever seen like a spiritual guru or somebody that's teaching, and you be like, damn, how they get to that point? You know what I'm saying? Like, it sound good in theory, but you be like, I see like Deepak Chopra and Eckhart Tolle and all these spiritual people, and they be like telling you, oh, the power of now and mindfulness, but they never like kind of tell you how to do it. So I would always be like, okay, well, how do you do that? Because, like, I'm the type of person, like, you get greasy with me, I might smack you. You know what I'm saying? And this is the crazy part. I'm still that person. But now I have a choice. I have an option. And I don't have to live in an ego of, oh, this, you is, if I don't smack you, you might think I'm soft. So now I have to. Because I don't live from the perspective of what other people think anymore. I live from the perspective of how I think outward. I live from my own internal perspective outward. But my journey is so inward that now what's the outward stimuli doesn't affect the inward journey. That is high vibrations. What ended up happening is a couple months ago, I was looking in the mirror, and I was doing my hair, and the mirror was shaking, like it was sitting on the bed. It was like a stand mirror, and it was sitting on the bed, and the whole mirror was shaking like this. And I was looking at the mirror like, why is this mirror shaking? And I put my hand up to the mirror, and my hand was shaking. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I kept fucking with the mirror. What is that? And my hand was vibrating. And I was like, okay. And like I said, I meditate a lot. Don't get me wrong. I meditate a lot. And I ain't know this was going to happen. So, life goes on. I'll be sitting in the bed, and the whole bed be doing this. Like it's wind blowing. You know how you ever, like, be in your car and the wind be rocking your car, and it's a weird feeling because it's the wind from the outside, but it affects your car, and you can feel yourself moving. That's how it felt. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I started vibrating so high that I was visibly vibrating. Like, I call them personal earthquakes. I have these personal earthquakes where I'm sitting there and I'll just start vibrating, and I'll be completely, and now I didn't got used to it, and I relax into it. But at first I was just like, what the fork? And y'all, the other day I vibrated straight out of my body. I'm not gonna lie to you. And because I'm not the type of person, I don't astral project. I don't do none of that. I was laying in the bed, and I was like halfway asleep, halfway awake, had one eye open and one eye closed. And all of a sudden I realized that I couldn't feel the bed no more on my back. And I was like, what the fuck? It felt like when an airplane goes up in the air and you don't feel like the ground underneath you. That's how it felt. And I turned to the side, and I realized that I wasn't in my body no more, but my body was still on the bed. But I'm scared of heights, so I freaked out. I freaked out like, oh shit. And then I kind of dropped back into my body. And I'm going to talk about, I'm going to just be perfectly honest with you. There are a lot of light codes that there's a lot of energy, high vibrational energy that is just coming into the planet right now. It started last year. And I know I get on my lives and I talk about the energy in the atmosphere because I can feel it now. And I was able to feel it last year. I can feel when it goes up and down and shit. It's so crazy. It's like being in the ocean, almost like a tide. I can feel when it goes back and when it comes a lot of it. And, when it comes a lot of it, it kind of like I have physical symptoms and stuff. But moral of the story is there are energetic light codes that are coming into this planet right now that are giving you the opportunity to increase your vibrations, right? But so what I'm doing to go along with those energetic codes is just giving you the examples and giving you some examples on how to do it. What is it? What does it do? Basically, if this energy has vibrational frequencies, and right now there's this grand awakening taking place. For the people who don't participate in the awakening, it's not that they won't wake up. It's just the difference between the third dimension and the fifth dimension is a vibrational frequency. Okay? And earth is hell. Okay? All the Bible stories? No, baby. They don't happen when you die. They're happening right here. The Bible says the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Because it's happening right here. It doesn't happen when you die. These are frequencies. These are frequencies that you suffer because if you're suffering, it's because you're aligned with that vibrational frequency of hell. Okay? So you're being tortured and you're being suffered. It's up to you to realize that you're in hell and get yourself out of hell. And the only reason I know that to be true is because I was in hell. I was in hell every day, just suffering, not liking my existence, not liking the things that were happening to me and being powerless to stop them. But I realized that it has nothing to do with what you see outside with your two eyes. It has everything to do with what's going on in the inside. What's happening in here. Notice every time I say in here, I'm pointing to my third eye. But it's all about what's happening in here. in the inner, in your inner world. It's about how you view the world. If you change the way you view the world will change. There's certain things that I understand it to be reality, but it's not my reality anymore. So if I see, what's the worst shit that I could see? The condo in Miami collapsing. That was some horrible shit, you know what I'm saying? And every single time I see a story, my heart aches for my brothers and sisters out there. So I say a prayer, and I send good energy to those people, because they are grieving, and that is a horrific thing. However, it does not turn into fear. Oh, that can happen to me. Or, if I see that people are getting killed, I know this is a reality. People die every day. That is just their life path and their exit plan. I don't believe in accidents. I don't believe in coincidences. So therefore, I understand that everything is happening the way it's supposed to. Even though it looks bad, we need to see, like, you can't know light unless you experience the dark, and you can't know dark unless you experience the light. So you can't have your waking up until you see what you need to wake up from. You can't enjoy heaven until you've been in hell and you've experienced it. It's part of the process. It's you suffering and being in hell. It might look like, why would God do that to me? No. You volunteered to come here so that you could realize that you could transcend it. This is your last stop, baby. Your soul then went through all of this stuff. It's been in all of these different dimensions. I know we look at dimensions and we look at higher beings and higher realms and higher selves as if they're better, because they're up there and their energy and they're lighter, but that's not. You manifested a material body, and you, so that you could deal with the duality on your journey back. The root chakra is the last chakra. It's not the first chakra. Y'all, we got it backwards. We start at the root. Nope, it's the last chakra. The first chakra is the crown chakra is the first one, because it's the one that connects you with all there is. That's the one you came from. It's the first one. The root one is the last one. That's the one that connects you with the physical world and gives you the density of the third dimension. So you have to go through hell to understand that there is duality, and then to understand that you have a choice on what you're viewing, on how you want to live, on whether you want to be in heaven or whether you want to be in hell. And at some point, I consciously started choosing heaven, choosing heavenly vibrations and heavenly thoughts. Because once I got a little bit of it, I was just like, this feels good. For me to be able to not let things that other people bother them, it don't bother me. It doesn't. And I'm not fronting. I'm not fronting. Like, little mundane shit don't bother me. I don't stress about shit that, I see other people just go the fuck off about. I don't even stress it, because everything happens for a reason. Everything is a blessing or a lesson. What's the lesson? If it's hurting, if I'm not feeling good, then what's the lesson it's trying to teach me? Those lower frequencies, they're just distortions of love. You know what I'm saying? It's like God cut itself into a trillion, gajillion tiny. God cut itself into a tiny little pieces, and the more it cut, the more it separated, the more it stepped down, the more it got stepped on like good dope. You know what I'm saying? You step on it too many times, it gets distorted. You know what I'm saying? So the more it got stepped on, it got distorted. It gets distorted into hate and jealousy and all these low vibrational frequencies. But to experience a full spectrum, from all the way from heaven to hell, you got to experience everything. If you are God, living God's dream, and then your spiritual awakening is you waking up inside of this dream and realizing that you are just an aspect of God, living an aspect of the consciousness that created reality, then you realize that you're going to be experiencing a wide array of the beauty of God, even the bad shit. You know what I'm saying? In certain dimensions, demons and angels work together. You think you got a team of angels around you, you do, and you also got a team of demons around you. Because when it's like when God whispers to you and you don't listen, you get hit with a brick. That's the demon. You know what I'm saying? But it's whatever it takes to get you to pay attention. All you gotta do is pay attention. And I'm out.